More and more where the shadows grow. Truth in the dark, we let it show. Step inside, let the live stream roll. Welcome to the show, it's Mo and Co. Mo and Co, where the shadows grow. Truth in the dark, we let it show. Step inside, let the live stream roll. Welcome to the show, it's Mo and Co. Late night vibes, the case unfolds. Stories hidden, mysteries cold. Every detail, every clue we find. Digging through the silence, leaving none behind. We shine a light where the dark won't go. Justice speaks loud when the truth takes hold. From the crime scene whispers to the echoes untold. We bring it all to life, it's Mo and Co. Mo and Co, where the shadows grow. Truth in the dark, we let it show. Step inside, let the live stream roll. Welcome to the show, it's Mo and Co. Mo and Co, where the shadows grow. Truth in the dark, we let it show. Step inside, let the live stream roll. Welcome to the show, it's Mo and Co. Late night vibes, the case unfolds. Stories hidden, mysteries cold. Every detail, every clue we find. Digging through the silence, leaving none behind. We shine a light where the dark won't go. Justice speaks loud when the truth takes hold. From the crime scene whispers to the echoes untold. Bring it all to life, it's Mo and Co. Mo and Co, where the shadows grow. Truth in the dark, we let it show. Step inside, let the live stream roll. Welcome to the show, it's Mo and Co. Mo and Co, where the shadows grow. Truth in the dark, we let it show.
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see you guys. It's been a minute and I wanted to talk to you guys about that for a minute. Um, but first I have to thank Bcrum. She made that little video for me and I absolutely love it. I couldn't get the music to work, but Foxy helped me with that music the other day, and so I'm very, very blessed for my friends that helped me. I'm blessed to have all you guys. Hey hippie chick, how are you? It's so good to see you. And Neat, it's so good to see you too. How are you guys? I had been doing my live streams on Fridays, but you guys, it's a lot. Like last Sunday, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan, there was a mass shooting, and four people lost their lives, and the gunman lost his life, and then four other people were injured really badly. Hey, Erin, how are you? And I feel like, and you guys, they had lost their president. The Mormons lost their president the day before that. So, and they really, really loved him. I know that there's some controversy about any church anywhere, and there too. But I'm going to tell you guys, one of my really good friends is Mormon, and she let me tell you what type of person she is. She went on a hike with her family up this mountain, and she knows that I can't climb, of course, but when she got up there, she called me on live so that I could see it, and I felt like I was there. I could see the tops of the clouds, and it makes me cry every time I think about it, because I wouldn't have got to see that otherwise, and I could see the tops of the clouds and stuff. And there's a guest book at the top of the mountain, and she signed my name, and it was a little group of us, and she signed all of our names in that guest book, and it meant so much to me. And so they've just been going through it lately, and for that to happen to them, it really hurt my feelings, and it made me worried for them too. And with all of the tragedies recently, I feel like I have to learn everything I can about it and get it in my brain, because if people had to suffer through this, then I feel like the least I can do is learn about it and get my facts straight, So that's what I was doing last week. And so yeah. Oh my goodness, you guys, we're not going to start out like this, but also, like I always say, there's helpers. Like Mr. Rogers says, we look for the helpers. And I found some helpers there too, and maybe I'll share that with you guys one day. Hippie chick, she is really, really sweet. All my friends are. I'm really, really blessed to have all of them. And so I'm really thankful for her and for all my friends. But yeah, so I know that people can say, well, this group is bad or that group is bad, but that's why I try to be a good example, because if people just meet one Christian in their life and that's me, I want to try to be a good example, and she's a really good example of a human, anyways. So yeah, I felt really bad for them. And the week before that, well, I think it's been a few weeks now. Charlie Kirk and then Evergreen High School. It's just so much, you guys, so much, and so it gets overwhelming. And I think I need to learn to balance a little bit better. But that's why I always end us on a good note. But we're going to start all these today. These stories I'm going to share with you guys are good notes. Um, and at the top of the chat, I have a pinned comment, and that's to the Canadian Women's Foundation. And that's who started this hand signal that we're going to talk about today. And they have a little, a tutorial there, and they also have a podcast about it. And it's a really good resource if you guys want to check it out afterwards. But first, you guys, I have to tell you some good news. Well, more good news. So today's full of good news. But I'm going to share this live that I did. It happened back in May. So this was 3 months ago now. It says that I did this live stream, but I'm going to share it with you guys if you want to watch it later. Two teenagers. Remember, they went camping in Mount Ord, Arizona, and they were found shot to death. And it was, you hadn't really heard a whole lot about it since. I did see one article where police said they were out of leads, basically. But just a few days ago, they made an arrest, and the police were adamant that these two young kids, that they had absolutely nothing to do with their deaths whatsoever. It was a 31-year-old, and it's another veteran, you guys. It's so That's been the case. It was a veteran in the Mormon shooting too. It was a veteran in that case too. So that's really upsetting. Hey Carl, how are you? Good to see you. Yep, hippie chick. I was so glad to see that. Miss Arnold told me about it. And so I was so glad to see this. And you guys, come to find out, okay, so he didn't know them at all. Come to find out, he was camping in the area at the same time, and he had actually turned in his own tip to the police. He was like, hey, I was here at this time, and I had some drone video. So he actually turned his own tip in, and the police had been, this is, let's see, so this is his mugshot, but look what I found on his Facebook, and it's scary because, and of course, I took his wife out of it. She doesn't have anything to do with this as of right now, but he looks, somewhat normal. Not somebody who you would think would murder two teenagers in cold blood, Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? It's good to see you. But you guys, I found these Facebook posts that he had made. So this was after the murder. He said, Nicole, Snoopy, and I were there days before terrible news, especially with the last days of school just prior. So he had the nerve to post about that. And then also he posted let me see here. Oh, so his wife left on the 25th and he decided to stay one more night. And this is what he said. He said, "I'm regretting staying one more night, lol. Got a gang of rando adults playing music and camping next to me, though. I picked up Culver's on the way home. Totally worth it. Snoopy gets another treat after having Nicole give him a shampoo shower tick check, and I gave him a conditioner shower tick check." So it's like normal business, you know. "Hey Debbie, how are you? It's so good to see you." Um, so it was just like no big deal, you know, but this sounds like passive aggressive to me, or aggressive even. Obviously, if this was the two teens, Pandora and Evan, then they got on his nerves playing music, you know. But so we could go over all this one day too, if you guys wanted to. But that's great news. I always love to share updates like that for you guys. Um, so now let's talk about what we came here today for. Um, if you guys missed it when let me get us to the right folder here. B Crumbs made a short little video for me that shows the hand sign, and I also have another video that I wanted to play for you guys. There's also, besides the hand sign for help, there's also, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but and also this hand sign isn't just for domestic violence, it's for help in general. And it started in 2020 in April, when a lot of people were in lockdown, and the only help, you know, a lot of times women that need help, they speak to their coworkers, right? But at this time, everybody was locked in at home and they couldn't speak to their coworkers. And if they came out and said, "I need help," it puts them in bad danger. So the Canadian Women's Foundation made this hand sign that people could use when they're on a FaceTime and stuff like that. And it doesn't mean to immediately call 911. You could ask yes or no questions, like call them privately. "Do you need me to send help now? Do you need me to check on you tomorrow? Do you need me to get resources for you? Do you need me to call a shelter?" Stuff like that. Because if you call 911 immediately, sometimes it puts their life in more danger, you know? Hey, Eddie, how are you? It's good to see you. It's good to see all you guys. So the first video that I wanted to play for you guys, it also tells about not just the hand sign, but if you're at a bar, Eddie, you would probably know about this. If you're at where you used to work at the club and stuff, that you can order a certain drink, and that also means that you need help. I think it's called an angel shot. And some bars, they leave up what each one stands for in the bathrooms. So it's kind of like a code, you know, like a, what do they call that on the map? What each symbol means, a legend. It's kind of like a legend to help, you know. So I thought that was neat that we could learn about too. And whenever I share a video, I drop it in the chat too.
You may have seen this story. A girl who had been reported as missing used a hand signal that she learned on TikTok to notify cars around her that she was in danger. One person recognized the signal and called police, which led to the girl's safe recovery. The hand signal is simple. You face your palm outward, bend your thumb in, and then fold all your fingers over your thumb. It was created by the Canadian Women's Foundation during the pandemic as domestic violence situations increased in 2020. So, what are some of the other ways to discreetly signal a dangerous situation? A while back, a crisis center in England launched the Ask for Angela campaign as a way of discreetly requesting help at a bar or restaurant.
I didn't know about any of this stuff, you guys. I knew about the hand sign, of course, but not the Ask for Angela. That means you need help too. Um, yeah, yeah. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Tony. I forgot again. I just saw your message and I forgot what day it was again. Oh my goodness.
Inspired by the concept, the Iberian Rooster, which is right here in St. Pete, began encouraging folks to order a specially named drink to let bartenders know if they felt unsafe. At the time, it was called the Angel Shot, and many bars use the concept now, but they often change the shot name to keep it discreet. The drink names can often be found in the women's bathroom, and depending on how you order the drinks, the staff will get you different forms of help. For instance, ordering the specially named drink Neat might mean your bartender escorts you to your car. With Ice could mean the bartender calls you an Uber or Lyft. And with Lime, well, they might call the police for you. A different method of notifying others you're in danger is built right into your iPhone. If you hold down one of the volume buttons, an option will come up to call 911, and with a quick swipe, it'll connect you to emergency services. If you hold
Also, your watch will do that, you guys, because but I'm going to have to figure out which buttons that I pressed the other day. But I accidentally pressed something and it said slide to call 911 to get help. And also, I know that it's going to tell you here that I think it's on the side 5 times, but we need to look into this more, you guys, so that I can get specifics. But there's one thing that you can press on the side, and it'll make a loud alarm on your phone before it calls 911. But I remember turning my alarm off so that in case I had to call 911, it would do it discreetly and not announce to everybody that I was doing it, you know? Eddie says, I've never heard of these. The patron would just walk up to me and ask for help. Guys, it doesn't matter where we are. Okay, you may never need to use these things for yourself. But what if God put you in a place at a certain time where somebody needs help? You know, so we need to know these things too. Aaron, that is a great question, and I don't know. I need to find this out and share tips for us so that we can all share tips. And if you guys have any tips for anything like this, and also I remember I saw a story where a lady, it's happened a few times, where somebody's needed help and they call 911 and sound like they're ordering a pizza. You know, and then the 911 operator catches on and calls them. I know that's a thing too. And if you guys have any tips like that, please leave them under the video, and I'll put them all together for us. I think that's a great idea. Elizabeth, yes, she says a teen in Asheville was saved because of hand signal. I think she was found in Kentucky. She was, and we're going to talk. That's actually one of the cases that we're going to talk about today. She's 16 years old. And that's going to be the last one that we talk about today. That was wonderful. She was found close to my holler. She was actually found, remember when the I-75 shooter, Joseph Couch, where he shot on the interstate, it was at exit 49 on I-75, and she was found safe at exit 41. They were able to save her, so right around the same area. Oh, Debbie. Yep, very possibly. I think so too now that I think about it. Yep.
down both volume buttons, a countdown will start with a loud alarm. At the end of the countdown, your phone will automatically call emergency services. Additionally, you can set up emergency contacts in the Health app, so if you do have to call emergency services, your phone will also send your location to all those contacts. But what if you see an unsafe situation happening in public? The Center for Domestic Peace says there are a few things you can do. If you don't feel safe intervening, call the police or notify somebody who can dial 911. If you can do so without putting yourself at risk, you can also shout things like "Stop," "We see you," or "No violence." If possible, without endangering yourself, try to document evidence of the abuse with your phone while police are on the way. If you're able to speak to a victim in a safe space, ask them if they're okay. Don't blame them for the situation, and remind them the abuse is not their fault. Lastly, you can offer a hotline number for further support. Here's a list of hotlines that are available 24/7.
I also left some help numbers in the description, and also this is you can find some resources there, and also in my ticker across the bottom of the screen. If you, it's all good resources, and when you go to websites like that, there is a quick escape in the upper right hand corner, and if your abuser happens to catch you looking for resources, that can put you in danger too. But if you press the X in the top corner, it will take you back to Google or search engine, and it does work because I tested it out before. But please remember to clear your history too. Yeah, Aaron, I think that little video was a good video. It was a video from a news station in Florida, and I thought that was a really good video because a lot of that I didn't know. Okay, now the first video that I want to show you guys is I don't know a whole lot. Hang on just one second. I don't know a whole lot about this case. I couldn't find a whole lot about it, but I thought it was good for us to know. It happened in I had to think what it happened in October of last year, and it was in Indiana, and it was at a senior apartments. And I don't know if you guys have those in your area, but it's like we have some here, and it's like assisted living for seniors. And usually the differences is that nurses come around sometimes, or they always have a like in the hospital, you guys know, in the hospital bathroom and stuff, there's a call button they can pull. Well, that's what it was like here. And a call button was pulled, and paramedics, and in this case, the paramedics knew what the hand sign was, you guys. So everybody needs to know, not just police officers, not just citizens, the paramedics knew too. And when they went up to the apartment, the woman said she was 73 years old, and she didn't know that an alarm had even been pressed. But thankfully, a woman was able to get her hand out the door and flash the paramedics the hand sign for help. And she was 31 years old. So the paramedics went back downstairs and called the police, and they were waiting in the atrium down there in the lobby for the police to come. And the 30-year-old woman actually pressed the call button again, you guys. She was so worried that they had left her and didn't know that she needed help. But come to find out, what had happened was her boyfriend was in there too, and the 73-year-old woman was the boyfriend's mother, and they had been out somewhere, and when they got back, they wouldn't let the 31-year-old woman leave. The 73-year-old mother held her down while her son assaulted her, you guys. So they were charged with the 31-year-old male was charged with criminal confinement, domestic battery, battery resulting in bodily injury, and interference with the reporting of a crime. And the 73-year-old woman was charged with criminal confinement, battery resulting in bodily injury, and interference with a reporting of a crime. So I couldn't find out what their charges were. I mean, what their sentences were, and I think it's because they didn't want to give. If they gave the information about the two that assaulted her, then it would put it. You wouldn't be able to figure out who the victim was. Okay, neat. I hope it goes well. I hope it does. Thank you for coming by. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? It's so good to see you. How's your baby doing, Jennifer? Hey, Popsons, that's good to see you. It was in Indiana, and it was in Churchman Woods Senior Apartments in Beech Grove, Indiana. Oh, that's okay, Van. How are you? Hey, Chroma Chronicles, good to see you. Thank you guys for coming by. Pops and Stats, did you see where Cairo Jordan's mother, where they finally found her competent to stand trial, and her trial is going to start in January? Carl, yep, it was in Churchman Woods Senior Apartments in Beech Grove, Indiana in October 2024. Yep, I'll share the link to this video for you guys if you want to check it out later. I hope that the two aggressors, I hope that they had to do some time over this, but I couldn't find anything else. Oh, I'm so glad, Jen. I'm so glad he's doing good. We'll watch this video and see what else we can figure out about it.
Tonight we're learning that a hand signal used to get help if there is a domestic violence situation actually worked when it was put into place right here in central Indiana.
A woman used the signal, which has gained traction on social media in Beech Grove this week. Our Marina Silva spoke with the medic who recognized the sign just in time.
Rodney Ham has been a paramedic for 20 years and has responded to several situations involving domestic violence. But this one was a little different. He was sent to the Churchman Woods Apartments for a medical alarm going off in one of the apartments. When an older woman answered the door saying she didn't realize it was going off, he noticed a young woman looking very upset, but couldn't say anything. Instead,
she was able to get her hand out the door, and she did a hand gesture, which of all things, I learned on TikTok about it. It's a hand gesture that means they need help.
Now, while that hand sign hasn't been officially recognized as a call for help, it's been widely spread on social media for people to know when they see that sign, somebody needs help.
Ham and his partner radioed for police after recognizing the signal. Court documents say,
I do want to mention again, you guys, that I have the link to the foundation that started this hand signal pinned at the top of my chat. So if you want to go there, you can learn more about it. They have examples, and there's even a mini course that you can take. And I've been meaning to go back and do that. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about all I was able. That was what I told you guys, yep.
When they were in the lobby waiting for police, the medical alarm went off again.
We're assuming like she pulled the alarm to get help because the lady that lived there didn't know the alarm was going off. So all I can think of is the young lady who needed help pulled the alarm to get help.
Beech Grove police were able to get into the apartment. The young woman told police they had returned from Chicago, but when she tried to leave, her fiancé and his mother wouldn't let her. At some point, she said her fiancé's mother physically restrained her and her fiancé assaulted her. And police were able to see scratches and bruises on the young woman.
I know she wanted out. I hope she never has to go through anything like that again.
Her smart thinking.
Me too, buddy. I hope she don't either. Carmen says the first time I saw the signal was in Gabby Petito case. I followed that case really, really closely too. Did she use the hand sign, Cromwell, or did you just learn about it when you were researching that case?
Pushing that medical alert button and using a hand signal likely saved her. In Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
If you or someone you know is experiencing any kind of domestic violence, there is help. You can contact the Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233.
Restream has put everything backwards today, or I opened up my tabs backwards, and so it's taken me a minute to get everything figured out. Oh wow, Chroma, I didn't even notice that. Oh my goodness. Jennifer, no way. It's fun in there. Oh, okay. The next story that I want to tell you guys about is it happened in April of 2022, and this one took place in Tennessee, and it let me show you guys just one second. I'm glad you guys told me that about Gabby. I didn't even realize that. So this is how the truck ended up on this day. Um, it it was a 19-year-old woman, and this was in Hickman, Tennessee. And she was at her brother's house, and her 31-year-old ex-boyfriend, Jonathan Smith, he came to pick her up. And we can't say, well, she shouldn't have went with him and this would have never happened. We don't know the situation. We don't know if he threatened her and said, if you don't go, I'm going to, harm myself, or I'm going to harm your whole family right here. We don't know. We can't say, but she did end up going with him. And, when we're 19, we think that, I think that there's a power differential here because he was 31 and she was 19. So I think that it's good to point that out and to realize that that in relationships, that's not a good thing sometimes if there's that big of an age difference, especially when, okay, you just graduate high school and you're just becoming an adult, and he's been an adult for, 12, 13 years or something. So he could manipulate her. I just want to say that. But so as soon as she got in the truck, they started fighting, physical fighting and stuff, and he got a screwdriver and said that he was going to end himself. And he was driving really, really erratically, and he said he was going to kill her with a screwdriver too. And we've heard this so many times that he was telling her if he couldn't have her, nobody could have her. And he was passing on double yellow lines and driving really, really, really fast. But they happened to stop at this store, and it was called the Twice Daily store in Hickman, Tennessee. And there was this guy, and his name's Streval, and he was with a motorcycle group, and he knew the hand sign. She was able to give the hand sign. She gave it to him, and he was getting her help. And she mouthed that she needed help to him and also to the clerk. The clerk made the hand sign back to her, and she nodded her head yes. And so they the Jonathan, he started feeling weird. He was kind of feeling what was going on. So he took her back out to the car. But in the meantime, Streval had gotten the license plate and called the police. So the police started chasing him, and it was about a 10 to 15 minute chase. And it ended up here. He tried to go off-roading, and it ended up here. And he fled and started to run. She was not hurt. I do want to say that right now. She was not injured during this. But the cops ended up having to tase him and everything to catch him. And so thank God that that Streval and the clerk were there to notice the hand sign. And the cops, they were pulling in right when he was leaving. So thank goodness they saw him too, and thank goodness that it wasn't a worse wreck, But I do have a video of Streval, and he tells a little more about what happened that day. So let me get us there. I'll leave myself notes here. Okay, let's watch this one first. I always try to find us a a YouTube video instead of a news article, because we always have to watch the commercials in the news article. And I have Prime, so we don't have to watch it on YouTube. Let me see here. So what about her? A man from a motorcycle club happened to be in the store too. You know, everything.
The value of your home. Call Woods Basement Systems today. Woods, the all things basementy experts.
Let me make it bigger.
It starts with a secret signal and a plea for help. A woman at a gas station in Hickman County discreetly asks another customer to help her after she says a man kidnapped her. Welcome to News 2 at 10. I'm Emily Proud. Deputies in Hickman County chased the suspect to Dixon County, where he crashed his truck. They chased him on foot, eventually tasing him. The woman now safe thanks in part to the help of strangers. In a story you'll only see here on News 2, Nikki McGee spoke with a man who wasn't just in the right place at the right time. He was the right person.
She looked at me and we gained eye contact, and she whispered, "Help."
Well, that's Eric Shrivel, and today he happened to be at the Twice.
They said right there that I do have a little piece of the body cam. I'll show you guys next. But I was just thinking to myself, it's too bad we don't have the whole body cam, because I wouldn't mind seeing somebody who allegedly hurt women being tased. I'll just say that. Y'all feel me? Hey, Miss Alma, how are you? Alma's name reminds me, you guys, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And at the end, I wanted to show you guys a little video from a woman who is a 2 times breast cancer survivor, and she tells a little bit of her story. So whatever chat I've been going in lately, Chroma Chronicles, she let me, I was in her chat yesterday, and I reminded everybody to please get your boobies checked. Absolutely, your boobies. And I had mine checked. I had my mammogram on September 17th, and praise God, everything came back normal, and I just have to go back yearly. So I go back next year for it. And if you're over 40, then most insurances will pay for a yearly mammogram. But if you're under 40, everybody needs to still do their monthly checks and things like that. But if your insurance won't pay for the yearly, if you do find something, please go to the doctor, and they can usually get one in there if it's an emergency and things like that. Thank you for reminding me with your name, Miss Alma.
Daily, when a woman walked in and whispered those words to him. Thankfully for her, she had found the right guy. Eric Shrivel is part of a motorcycle group that helps women in domestic violence situations. When he was asked for help at the gas station, he went to the counter and asked the clerk to call 911. He also took a picture of the license plate of the car the woman was in. Thankfully, deputies were quickly able to track down the vehicle and guide her to safety.
If you see something, say something. Because in domestic violence is a bad thing here in Tennessee. It is the victims. They're a lot of times they're too afraid to speak out. And I credit the young lady in this situation with having the world's most courage of actually speaking out, because who knows what would have happened.
Shrivel has a 12-year-old daughter as well as sisters and a mother. He says he hopes someone would have done the same thing for them in a similar situation. After this situation, he was able to find the victim on Facebook and reached out. Here's his message to her tonight.
Just tell her, lean on family if she's got family. Find some.
So in that first video we watched, you guys, where they were saying the special drinks that you could buy at the bar to signal that you needed help, they also said to document evidence, remember? And that's exactly what Mr. Streval did. He took a photograph of the license plate, so he did something right there. And what he is about to say, he even found the victim on Facebook, you guys, to try to see if she needed more help. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Um, and he's saying that he's giving her big props right here, and it does take a lot of courage, because we know when women are leaving, that's the most dangerous times, you know. And he's about to give us a message of what he said to her.
Somebody, a complete stranger, if somebody's willing to listen, talk to them. Don't keep everything bundled up inside. Reach out. Reach out to somebody, and just believe the good in somebody.
Now, we do not yet have a photo of the suspect. That's Jonathan Smith. Deputies tell us he was being combative as they were working to take him into custody. As soon as we learn more in this case, we'll be sure to keep you updated both on air and online at
That's a surprise, because usually men that hurt women, they're scared of other men. You know, they won't be as combative with men. There is one more video that I wanted to show you guys about this case, and they show a little bit of the body cam here too. Hang on just 1 second. I gotta come back and get you guys. If you miss a few days, you forget where all the buttons are, man.
Crime Tracker alert tonight. A 19-year-old Hickman County woman is safe and sound this evening after a police pursuit. It's all thanks to a discreet signal for help to several people who saw the gesture and then dialed 911. News 2's Andy Cordan is here with those details. Andy.
Yeah, I'm told that the alleged domestic violence victim made a hand gesture sort of like this inside of a Hickman County convenience store. Now, apparently, it signals a person who may be in an abusive situation, perhaps needs help. Either way, store personnel saw it. They called the Hickman County Sheriff's Department, who quickly arrive on scene.
Initially, the speeds were very, very fast.
When Hickman County Corporal Brian Bailey tries to stop Jonathan Smith,
he did run some vehicles off the road, placing them in danger.
The 31-year-old suspect takes off in his pickup truck, driving erratically, at times reaching speeds of 90 miles an hour.
This is after the pursuit. He had wrecked out into a creek bed.
This is body cam, just inside the Dixon County line.
I did draw my firearm in case he did have weapons, being it was a kidnapping situation.
The deputy pulls his weapon and checks on the young woman.
At that,
I did look for his name too. There is another Jonathan Smith in Tennessee, and this one there's a lot of information about him out there, because I think he was charged with murder, but it's a different Jonathan Smith. So I wasn't able to find out what his charges ended up being and how much time he served. I wish I would have been able to.
time I did ask the female in the vehicle if she was okay. And
so the woman was okay?
The woman was okay.
That's Smith running.
I did pull out my taser.
He crosses a creek and jumps a fence. Then finally in this field,
did not get on the ground like I asked, so I did tase him.
The deputy tases him, ultimately gaining compliance and ending the altercation.
It was a very dangerous situation. A life was in danger. We were able to save her life. The main thing she told me was that she asked multiple times for him to stop and let her out, and he refused. And that if he couldn't have her, nobody would. And that if she went and told anybody or she tried to escape, he would kill her. Because had she not made the gestures to the cashier,
Look at her hands shaking, you guys. Bless her heart. I hope that she got therapy after this, because everybody needs therapy. It's good for everybody, but especially in situations like this.
I never have known. You just hold your hand up like this, fold your thumb over, and fold your fingers over your thumb. And that represents domestic abuse or abuse just in general.
And tonight at 6, more on the story, including an interview with the Hero store clerk who noticed the woman in trouble. She's the one who called for help. Back to you, Alex.
Unbelievable, Andy. Important.
So that was all that I had about that case. Hey, Trista, how are you? I'm so glad to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Oh no, Chroma Chronicles, bless your heart. I have those days sometimes, and I just go to bed early, and I think of the next day before I get up. When I first open my eye, well, before I open my eyes, I pray that it's going to be a better day that day. And but bless your heart. Okay, the last story that I want to tell you guys about was the one that you guys mentioned earlier that happened in Kentucky. And this was let me get my notes up. So it was on November the 4th of 2021. And it was on the interstate. And a man had actually been on 911 through 2 counties already. And by the time he got through, they transferred him, I believe. And it was on the Laurel County when he got through to Laurel County. And we're going to hear a bit of the 911 call. And he's about to run out of gas, so he's freaking out because he's been on 911 for a long time, and so the sheriff is gonna tell. Well, he's a deputy. He's gonna tell us what happens. But the 911 caller says, and it is a 16-year-old girl who is in the passenger seat of 61-year-old. This guy. Let me see if I can zoom in. This guy. Yeah. And James Herbert Brick. And they had come from North Carolina. This was on a Thursday afternoon. And the little 16-year-old girl had been reported missing on that Tuesday. And he had actually taken her from North Carolina up to Ohio, and they were staying at some of his family's house. But when the family found out that she was underage, they wouldn't let him stay there anymore. So they were traveling back through Kentucky when this happened, and thank God that the 911 caller saw the sign, knew what it was, and was able to get her help. So I have one video about that, and then we'll listen to the deputy. He gives a good interview.
It's a story that's been shared around the world. A single hand gesture leading deputies in Laurel County to stop a car with the teen who had allegedly been kidnapped.
Yeah, now we're hearing how it all went down with the release of the actual 911 call.
I've been following this Toyota Corolla from Madison County. We just crossed the Laurel County past section 49. This female on the passenger side, brunette, motioning for help, call 911. I've been on the phone with Madison County and Croc Castle. I'm still following, but I'm getting ready to run out of gas.
The man who called 911 credited social media with helping him recognize that the teen was in trouble. Now the story is spreading worldwide. LEX 18's Michael Burke has tonight's big story at
Power, the influence, and the worldwide reach of social media perhaps never more evident than it was last Thursday along this stretch of I-75 in southeastern Kentucky.
You can give all kinds of signals all day, but if the person on the other end doesn't recognize what that signal means, then it doesn't mean anything.
A 16-year-old girl allegedly taken across state lines against her will, offering a signal of distress to the next car over. Achardo said he and his deputies had no idea what it meant. They certainly do now.
Hand up like this, tuck your thumb in, all 4 fingers wrapped around your thumb. Back out again, thumb in, hands wrapped around your thumb.
Deputy Achardo giving a demonstration of the hand signal, which apparently has roots with the Canadian Women's Foundation, but was made popular by the social media app TikTok, where more than 689 million subscribers go to post and watch random videos. But one nearby driver didn't think there was anything mundane about it, so he called.
Guys, I wonder how many cars she had passed trying to do that all the way up from Ohio, and nobody noticed what it was until this fella. And the deputy will tell us here in a little bit, he said that he didn't even stick around. He didn't know a whole lot about the 911 caller. So that was just a miracle in itself that he saw and knew what was going on, and that his phone, that he stayed on 911 through 3 counties. He was not going to let that go, and he got that little girl help. Bless him.
Called the sheriff.
And gave us a milepost marker by milepost marker location on where the vehicle was.
It's a silver Toyota Corolla. Silver, Ohio Black.
And because that distress signal resembles a wave, the suspect, 61-year-old James Herbert Brick, thought nothing of it. He was arrested at exit 41 and is now being held in the Laurel County Detention Center. Achardo's office is now the center of attention. He appeared on NBC's Today Show this morning to discuss the incident. He said Inside Edition is up next, and he's not doing these for publicity.
Whether it's TikTok or whatever it ends up being, there probably needs to be a hand signal or something that we can use nationwide to alert motorists and law enforcement that, hey, I'm in distress, call 911.
Because this signal likely saved the life of a teenager.
We got the bad guy and we rescued a 16-year-old girl. I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
And for that, 2 thumbs up would be the signal. In Laurel.
Guys, I've kicked myself, and now I got an echo. I'll be back in just a second. I don't know what's going on. Hello? It's still kind of weird. Hang on. There's 2 of them. Hello? Can you guys hear me now? I have no idea what I did. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got a loud mouse. Hey, Miss Arnold, how are you? I'm so glad to see you. Thank you, Jen, for sharing her channel for me. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Oh, thank you, Chronicles. I think the same about you. Thank you. Okay, guys, now we're back. Okay, I have no idea what I did. My mouse got wild on me, but I got it. Okay, so now the deputy that helped save the 16-year-old, he's going to tell us more about it in this interview, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So let me get us there. My mouse tried to get away from me, guys. I got it.
Right. About a little bit after 12 noon, our 911 dispatchers received a call from an individual that was in a vehicle behind a silver-colored Toyota.
Guys, this guy is from kind of close to my holler, right? And when I was listening to this earlier, I could really hear his accent, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, surely my accent ain't like that. I don't sound like that in my head, but I probably sound exactly like him to you guys. I don't know.
The passenger car. And
And I'm only hearing him out of the left side of my headphones. So if you guys can't hear, then it might be your headphones.
The complainant, or the person that was in that vehicle, told us that he had observed a female in the passenger seat that was giving the TikTok sign indicating that she was in distress, that she needed help. So at that point, the dispatchers notified our deputies, and we staged at exit 41, which is about 9 miles from where the original complaint came in. That actually ended up being a good area because it's a construction zone north of London, and it has walls on both sides of the lanes. So if this individual that was driving the suspect vehicle ever felt that he was being observed or threatened, he couldn't make a turnaround. So he had to go all the way to exit 41. So that's where our deputies staged. And the complainant followed the victim vehicle and gave us mile marker by mile marker updates on where the vehicle was, which was wonderful for us because we knew when that vehicle was going to arrive at exit 41. And we staged our deputies and detectives staged at the top of the ramp. There's an overpass there, and if the vehicle exited, we could stop it, or if it continued on southbound on I-75, we could shoot down the ramp on the other side and make a traffic stop. As it would have a fortune of lady luck, the victim vehicle got off at exit 41. Our guys were waiting at the top of the ramp. We had one cruiser get in behind the vehicle. We had another cruiser get in front of the vehicle. We boxed it in. It literally could not go anywhere, and we conducted a traffic stop.
Could you show me what that hand signal looks like, the TikTok, so that we can share it with people and so that they know for future reference?
Right, I can. I'll probably have to step back from the camera. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but let me turn this camera up like this.
Yeah.
And step away. Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can see it. That's good.
Okay, then your hand is up like this. Then you tuck your thumb in and all four fingers over that thumb and back and forth.
And something just that simple saved this 16-year-old girl.
And sometimes also, guys, I think one of our good stories that I ended with the other day, the lady, she had went into a 7-Eleven, and the clerk said that she was giving him the sign behind her back. So we have to watch for it there too. That could be a possibility too.
Well, of course, with any signal, you have to be able to have someone that can interpret what that signal means. And we wonder, that this vehicle had actually left Asheville, North Carolina, probably on Tuesday morning. That's when the 16-year-old was reported missing. And the girl told us that they had traveled through Tennessee, through Kentucky, to Ohio to some of his relatives. And that when the relatives found out that he had an underage reported missing juvenile, they didn't want him to stay there. So they got back in the vehicle and head south on I-75, traveling through Kentucky and, of course, into Laurel County. But we wonder how long that this girl had been doing this signal, because the vast majority of most people probably would not recognize that signal for what it meant. We didn't even know what it meant. We definitely do now. And we think it's wonderful. We think it's a wonderful tool. And I had a media person ask me yesterday, what were some suggestions that we could give individuals in vehicles to alert law enforcement or individuals that they were in distress. Well, you can't hang a handkerchief out the window, and you can't flail your arms from side to side because the suspect that's driving the vehicle would
He said Wenda. I say that sometimes too. I say Wenda and Pilla and Yella. Karma Chronicles says he's right about people needing to be able to interpret it. All law enforcement needs heavily trained, in my opinion. I do too. That's my opinion too. There's some things they should all learn in the academy, and even, there's new things that come up every year like this. So even after the academy, they should learn this, every year.
Obviously be able to tell what you were doing. In this instance, it just looked like the young lady was waving at people. She was in the front seat with him, and it just looked like she was waving at individuals. He had no idea that she was putting out a distress signal, that she was in distress. So we feel like that she, as they entered Kentucky from Ohio, that she felt distressed and a fear for her life. And that's why she was given that signal, hoping that someone would recognize it. Fortunately, and everything played out just the way that it should have, which was wonderful. They came into Laurel County. We have that construction zone. As I said earlier, that vehicle, even if it knew that it was being followed, could not cut across the median, could not turn around. It had to travel to exit 41. That's where our guys were, and we were waiting on them, and everything worked out as best as it could have.
I want to hear a little bit more about this caller. Is it somebody who had previous law enforcement background? Is it somebody who was from that area?
No, we don't know a whole lot about the caller. The caller didn't stay around. That's definitely the definition of a good Samaritan, because they had no idea what the whole story was all about, and they saved the young girl's life, because we do not know what the 61-year-old man's intentions were. He would not relate to us what his intentions were, and we have to think that it was less than honorable. But again, if you give a signal like that, you have to have somebody to be able to interpret it. And it just, as Lady Luck would have it, the Good Samaritan was in the vicinity of this vehicle, observed the signal.
Well, I can almost definitely say that his intentions were untoward, because when they did a search of his phone, they found CP on his phone too. So I absolutely believe that his intentions were untoward. And you guys, after this, I'll tell you what his sentence was, and you're not going to be happy about it, because I'm not happy about it either.
Called it into 911. Our dispatchers were wonderful. Our deputies and detectives did everything by the numbers. We did a safe felony traffic stop. We found out from her, and we also ran her name through NCIC and got a hit that she was a missing person out of Asheville, North Carolina. Her parents had reported her on Tuesday morning. This was Thursday afternoon. So, I really believe that this girl's life was saved by all the events that unfolded on Thursday.
And I am curious. You mentioned his intention. I know at the end of the post that y'all had made, you mentioned that there was some content found on his phone. Was it of that same young girl he was traveling with, or was it someone else?
Well, we really don't want to get into the specifics of the case for obvious reasons, ongoing investigation. We're hoping that with it, the vehicle having traveled across state lines, that the FBI will take the case on. They have been down here and been quite helpful, and we really hope that
his charges were upgraded to kidnapping, but he ended up pleading down to a lesser charge.
they will adopt the case. So we want to be really careful about how much information that we release.
I totally understand that. I also wanted to ask, I know that we report on things like human trafficking and kidnapping, and so often are missing people, and so often you don't have a resolution like this. As somebody who, I'm guessing you deal with the same thing, you so often see the people go missing and don't have the happy ending, or in this case at least unending, to report on. How does it feel that this Good Samaritan was able to lead you guys to reconnecting this young girl with her family?
Well, this is one of those instances, and we do see a lot of bad things in law enforcement, unfortunately, more than what most individuals would even realize what we see. But when we have a resolution like this, it's just a feel-good day. I mean, when you go home, you have to feel like you did something good. Because I mean, we don't know. Maybe he wasn't going to do anything to her, but in our business, we have to think the worst.
We have to disagree, sir. Me, and I don't ever speak for my whole chat, but this time we're one and the same. We do think that he was absolutely going to do something bad to her. Not good.
We have to think that the outcome is not going to be good unless law enforcement and citizens work together and intervene. And this was a perfect example of how everybody worked together. The people knew what the signal meant. They called 911. Our deputies positioned themselves. Everything worked perfectly that day, as it was a textbook operation, and it was a feel-good experience for our deputies, to say the very least.
Is there anything else that you would want to say?
I believe you got everything out of me.
Well, I thank you so much for taking the time on a Saturday to talk with me. I was going to ask, do you think that there's anyone else that would have important insight on this story that we should talk to? It doesn't sound like there are many other people to talk to.
No, not really. We wish, because we would like to thank the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
Because he probably saved her life.
Absolutely.
I mean, would anybody have ever noticed that signal? I'm sure the suspect thought she was waving at somebody, but would anybody else have identified with that signal? Now that it's been put out, the story's been put out, we think that people will use this universally as a distress signal. And that's great. I mean, something good came out of all of this.
Yeah.
You know, a safe return of the 16-year-old to her parents, and now a hand signal that people can use to notify individuals or law enforcement that they are in distress.
Yeah.
And
so you guys had, when I first started, and you guys were telling me that you'd actually heard about that too, the instance in Kentucky. So it was really good. I remember seeing it on my local news, and that deputy had done a lot of interviews about it, and you could tell it was really on his heart to get that information out. Bless his heart. So I'm glad that he did, and he's right that something good came out of it. But let me show you guys the updates that I found about the 61-year-old. So let me see here. So this is what I got off of the Cool website. It's KOOL, and it is for Kentucky offenders. And let me see down here. So he was arrested back in November of 2021 when it happened, and he got 4 years for that. So it was unlawful imprisonment in the first degree, and then possession of matter portraying sex performance. And so he got 4 years for that too. And so let's see here. His expected time to serve is 10/21/25. So when I checked this a few days ago, he was still in prison, but it says his maximum expiration of sentence date is the 21st of this month. So I'm not very happy about that. I didn't see anything where he crossed a bunch of state lines with her. So do you reckon that after this that he could possibly be charged in North Carolina too for taking her? I didn't even think about that. I just thought about that. But sometimes I've seen, you guys, where they as soon as they're released from one sentence, the police are waiting outside the prison door to arrest them and take them on another sentence. You know, so hopefully we can hope for that. I think that that's all that I have to share with you guys today about that. But there is one more video that I wanted to share with you guys for breast cancer awareness, since it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month and also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's just a short little interview of a lady that is a 2-time breast cancer survivor, Barbara Jones, and this year also, you guys, is the 40th year for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It started in 1985, so I thought that was a cool little fact that I found. And also, you guys, while Barbara was dealing with her own breast cancer diagnosis for the second time, her sister was also going through the same thing, you guys. So if we think that we're having a bad day, I don't, just bless her, bless her heart. But let me share again, and then I'll let you guys go. Usually I end on a good note of a good story, and these all were good stories today, but also this is a good story too, and it's for this month, so that's really good too.
October marks the start of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. News 19's Archie Snowden spoke with a two-time breast cancer survivor about the importance of early detection and her outlook on surviving this disease.
Barbara Jones was first diagnosed with breast cancer in 2006 with sarcoma on her right breast.
That also migrated to my lymph nodes under my right armpit. Because it was already spread to my lymph nodes, the doctors felt that it was necessary to begin treatment on me as soon as possible.
While Barbara was going through treatment, her oldest sister was fighting through her own battles with breast cancer to survive.
When this had happened to her and I went to take care of her, she had said to me, I don't know how this happened to me, if it's genetic or anything. And we knew it wasn't genetic from my mother's side because no one in the family had breast cancer.
Her sister passed away in 2008, 10 years after her death.
Oh, bless her. Bless her heart. She's beautiful. I have a big sister, you guys. She's 8 years older than me, and she stops by sometimes. She works during the day, but she does stop by when she can. But I would rather something happen to me instead of my sister, so just bless her heart. And then having to deal with that at the same time, it's awful. But another video that I saw that I might share with you guys next time, they're doing a lot of advancements in breast cancer. I think they said that now, since they can detect things so much earlier, that I think there is a 93% success rate in treating it now. I'll have to find that video for you guys next time. That's wonderful.
Barbara was again diagnosed with breast cancer. She underwent a double mastectomy and chemotherapy.
It was all very difficult. It was scary.
But Barbara Jones said she's pushing forward, hosting mammogram screenings in her hometown and encouraging women to consult their physicians about their family history. She's using the month of October to spread positivity to those who were diagnosed while sharing her story of survival.
But there's always that glimmer of hope that you can beat it, and you should fight and do everything you can to do that. My faith in God has grown tremendously. I thank Him for everything, because I know without Him, I probably wouldn't be here as a wife, as a mother, and as a human being.
In Huntsville, Archie Snowden, News 19.
The third annual Let's Beat Cancer Rally happens on Sunday. You can find the time and location inside of this story on our website, WHNT.com, and our News 19 app. October marks the start of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
So she went through it. Bless her heart. I think that it's wonderful when you go not wonderful that you go through something bad, but I think it's wonderful when you can share what you went through to encourage others. I don't talk about my accident a whole lot because I never want to be seen as a victim. I don't want anybody to ever feel sorry for me because I'm blessed. I'm very blessed to still be as independent as I have been all these years, but I do mention my accident sometimes to hopefully encourage others. So I think that that's great when you can do that. Let's see here. Pops and Sass says, I knew identical twins, and one died of breast cancer in 20s, and the other is alive many years later. I always was curious how they have identical DNA. Yeah, that is curious, isn't it? You guys, the other day, I'm going to have to find that video again, but this is just a side note. And it was twins, and one was female, one was male. And the woman had unfortunately had a miscarriage, and they were checking her blood and stuff. And in her blood was her brother's DNA somehow. It was male DNA, but in her eyes was female DNA, and she had all women reproductive parts and things like that. And I was like, whoa, they call that something, and that was so interesting. That's just a side note. Oh, Pops and Sass, you don't know about my accident? I was 20 years old, and I just graduated high school, right? And I worked, I had a job in the mornings where I would go at a mobile home lot, and I would decorate the model homes, right? And then from 7 to 9. And then at 9, I would go to my desk job. And then so that was 9 to 5. And then from 6 to 10, I would go to college, right? Well, that morning I just had a light jacket on. It wasn't very cold at all. And, so I had a light jacket on, and I was on my way out the door. So probably 7 something, or maybe I wasn't going to the mobile home lot that morning. I was just going to my desk job. So before 9 anyways. And, all I remember is losing control. Like there was nothing I could do. And then I just remember the lady behind me, she said that as soon as I hit the ice, it was just one patch of rare ice that trees were covering the road, and sun hadn't hit it and melted it yet. And she said that I was going under the speed limit and everything. And my car went up on the front tire, and I struck a tree. So the tree hit from the back of my headrest down, and there was nothing left of the car. Like you could see the sky, And the lady behind me, she thankfully found me because I ended up down in a ravine. And if she hadn't seen me, I don't know how long I would have been down there. But my car was leaking gas, and she stayed with me the whole time, and I didn't know my name, and she found my name on some of my homework in the back seat. And so she got help for me, and called the ambulance and stuff. And I didn't know my name or anything, but a lady worked at the hospital that I went to school with, and she knew my parents, so she called them. And my mom said that I didn't have a scratch on me, just a slight scratch on my head. And so they were about to let me go home, and my mom said, well, she can't feel her legs, And so they decided to do an MRI or an x-ray or something. And my mom said when I came back that I was literally pulling my hair out because I was in such bad pain. And so they must have hurt me doing that. But so they told my mom that that my back was severely broken in T12, so 5 vertebrae up from the bottom. And they said that it was like pieces of popcorn they had to pull out and put back together, And my mom said that she dropped to her knees during that time, and that the nurse said, honey, you still have her. I tell a lot of parents, that it's not good. So, but you still have her, and she still has her brain. She's still herself. And so that has always stuck with me. And now I'll be 43 in a few months. So I've lived more years hurt than before I was hurt, Um, Oh no, Elizabeth. Oh no, we will definitely pray for her. Jen, she really was an angel. She was a teacher, I believe. And I haven't seen her since. My mom said she came to the hospital that day. It was the hospital at the Holler, and so it was a little hospital, and they had to air flight me out. But my mom said that she came down there before they did, that lady, and she was checking on me and stuff like that. So bless her heart. I haven't seen her since that day, but she absolutely was an angel. Jen, I do have pain. When it rains and stuff like that, my back will hurt, but my pain mostly is in my shoulders where I've pushed myself for so many years in my wheelchair, and in my neck. So that's where most of the pain now is, but it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Thank you, Carl. Thank you so very much. Yeah, I can feel down to my knees and move them pretty well. And I can crawl. So that's good. And I have a car with hand controls, and I didn't want to drive for a year after I got hurt, but after that, I was like, I want to be able to go when I want to go, and not depend on others. So I got hand controls in my car, and my wheelchair is the kind that you take the wheels off. So I take the wheels off and put them in the back seat, and then put the part that bends over, I put that in the passenger seat. And it takes me about 30 seconds to get in and out. I got it down pretty good now, but when COVID hit and we all were on lockdown and I didn't drive, some kind of block came in my head. And so now I'm really, really nervous to drive after I drove for 15 years fine. So I'm going to have to get over that, and I will get over that. But right now, my mama is my chauffeur, and I don't mind it. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think that that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you sincerely. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. Time that you cannot get back, you've come and spent with me, and that means more than money to me. I do want to mention one more thing. I have been thinking about starting a Bible study group, because I don't know my Bible like 1/4 as much as I should. And I was thinking there's probably other people like that too, and that we could possibly get together and read together. You can email me, or if you have any ideas about a good Bible study book that I could buy that would help us go along with the Bible, I would really appreciate recommendations on that too. So I just wanted to mention that too. And if you guys ever have any cases that we can help bring awareness to on, I always say, my channel is small, but you don't know the ripples that each of us could make that could cause big waves. I'm sure I heard that quote somewhere, but I'm just using it as my own right now. But it's true, you never know. So if you ever have any cases that you feel need awareness, please email me. And I think that's all, you guys. I love you all so very much. Pops and Sash, yeah, people don't know really unless you're hurt, or you see someone hurt, and the struggles that they deal with. Jennifer, yeah, yep, that's what I was thinking too. And if you guys want to get into my Discord, you can email me too, and I'll give you a link. I'm so glad you were too, Elizabeth. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I love you guys. And don't forget to say your prayers and take your vitamins. But check with your doctor about that, because I don't want sued. You feel me? Definitely not. Okay, I love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.